Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Saturday, September 20, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, Portmore man charged for fatal gun attack on Indian in halfway tree. A 28-year-old Portmore St. Catherine man has been charged for the gunning down of a man outside a restaurant in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew in January. With the help of CCTV footage during the investigation, Kavon Duncan was identified and later arrested. Duncan was charged on Thursday with murder, conspiracy to murder, wounding with intent, possession of a prohibited weapon, and using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony. Killed was 35-year-old Roland Sawyers, otherwise called Indian, a factory worker of Iron River in Mount James, St. Andrew. Reports from the Halfway Tree police are that about 3:47 p.m. on Saturday, January 25, Sawyers was standing inside a restaurant along Halfway Tree Road when he was pounced upon by Duncan and another man who were both armed. They opened a gunfire, hitting Sawyers multiple times to the upper body. Sawyers was taken to hospital where he succumbed to his injuries while being treated. CCTV footage of the incident was ascertained. The police say Duncan was apprehended and taken into custody on Friday, September 5. He was charged after a question and answer session on Thursday, September 18. A court date is being arranged. Senior prosecutor Claudette Thompson to act as a DPP following retirement of Paula Llewellyn. Senior Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions Claudette Thompson is to act in the post of Director of Public Prosecutions starting on Monday as Paula Llewellyn KC on Friday demitted office to proceed on retirement. Llewellyn served as a DPP for 17 years. Throughout my 41 years of public service, I have been privileged to have not only given service above self to the public at the highest level, but I have worked with and mentored a host of fine professionals in my ODPP family, she said in a media release on Friday. She expressed her gratitude for the support she received throughout her journey. I will cherish all the memories that I shared with my ODPP family as well as stakeholders over the years who have made my tenure in public office a committed and a meaningful journey. For example, law enforcement agencies, the media, court staff, Department of Corrections, the judiciary sitting in the Court of Appeal, Supreme Court and the Parish Court, court reporters, staff at the Ministry of Justice and other ministries, and the non-governmental agencies, embassies, international stakeholders, prosecuting agencies, and the colleague DPPs across the Caribbean, said Llewellyn. As I look forward to my new portfolio called retirement, I am interested, with God's help and a continued grace, to see what lies ahead for me, she added. She called on stakeholders to give their full support to Thompson. Thompson has 2 decades of experience as a prosecutor. Who is Claudette Thompson? Thompson was born on May 27, 1975. She was the clerk of the court in St. Anne in 2004 before becoming assistant Crown Counsel in the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in 2007. Thompson is a past student of the University of the West Indies, Mona, where she obtained a bachelor's degree in international relations. She also attended the University of Wolverhampton in the United Kingdom, where she obtained a Bachelor of Laws degree, and attended the Norman Manley Law School, where she obtained her certificate of legal education. She has a range of experience in the conduct of complex prosecutions in the Parish Court, Supreme Court, and the Court of Appeal. Her duties at the ODPP over the years included the conduct of rulings from various state entities, head of the roster committee, head of the gun court unit, and being in charge of the Home Circuit Administration Unit. Thompson featured prominently in several high-profile prosecutions, including the anti-gang case, which led to the conviction of boss of the one-down faction of the Klansman gang, Andre Bryan. She was also pivotal in the prosecution and the conviction of Ocean's Wilson gangsters. Thompson also featured prominently in the prosecution and the conviction of Klansman leader Tesher Miller for accessory after the fact to murder in the killing of former chairman of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, Douglas Chambers. Both Miller and Bryan are serving life sentences. Thompson is a member of the Legal Aid Board and the former vice president of the Legal Officers Staff Association. Ronco Gang trial now set for April 2026. Supreme Court Judge Justice Leighton Pusey on Friday issued a stern warning to prosecuting and defense counsel alike to have every single striking piece of paper that you need for an April 13, 2026 trial date for the 8 alleged members of the Ronco Gang who have been before the courts since 2022. This after a September 16, 2025 trial date was vacated in July this year, partly due to the absence of several defense attorneys and indications from others that they would not be ready. The Ronco Gang, which is believed to include several cops, has been linked to 17 incidents ranging from shootings, burglary, robbery with aggravation, illegal possession of firearm, shop breaking, conspiracy to murder, and abduction. The offenses allegedly spanned Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, St. Catherine, St. Mary, Trelawney, Kingston, St. Andrew and St. James, 2019 and 2021. The 7 men and 1 woman who are jointly charged with the breaches of the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organization Act, commonly referred to as the Anti-Gang Law, on Friday appeared before Justice Pusey in the Home Circuit Division of the Supreme Court for another trial readiness hearing. Following exchanges with the defense counsel and the prosecutors, Justice Pusey made it clear that the extended time for the start of the trial was so attorneys would be ready to take the matter to conclusion. For all the counsels in this matter, I want you to listen very carefully. All the attorneys in this matter, I have done matters with them, and I have had the joy of being in the middle of the matter and being told that there is something that they didn't realize wasn't there, or they would want some document or something like that. So please ensure that everything you need you have now, so that when the trial starts, whether it is me or some other poor unfortunate judge, you have every single striking piece of paper that you need. That especially goes for the Crown, Justice Pusey said. Earlier in explaining to the 8 accused that the original trial date had been vacated because of their attorneys' uncertainty over their availability, Justice Pusey said this had also impacted where the matter would fall on the court's calendar. On the last occasion, we had vacated the trial date, which was set for the 16th of September, because we were not certain the attorneys would be available. However, the reason we had to vacate the date is that a trial like this takes a considerable time, meaning basically that we have to shut down another court with other matters because the length of this one is unusual. We are therefore suggesting that this matter should be dealt with at the beginning of the Easter term. The advantage is that that term is longest, giving everybody the opportunity to get everything together, he said. In the meantime, a final trial readiness hearing was on Friday also set for January 29, 2026, ahead of the April 13 start date. In turning down a request for defense counsel to appear via the Zoom platform, Justice Pusey said, "I don't have anything against the platform, but I wanted the attorneys to be engaged in the matter. The history of this matter suggests a lack of engagement, so I don't know that I will go in that direction." In addressing the accused, among them, Constable Tafari Silvera, who hung his head and sighed heavily when the April 2026 trial date was announced, Justice Pusey said, "What we have done here is that we set another trial date, which is all the way in April. That's because cases like this take us some time, and so we have to make sure everything is ready. Your attorneys say they will be ready on that particular date, so we hope that we will be able to do that going forward." Justice Pusey, in adjourning the matter, ordered that the 4 accused who have been in custody namely Silvera, Tenille Francis, David Henry, and Tevin Henriquez, be further remanded, and the bail for Jacet Brown, Danilo Barnes, Ovilgo Mackenzie, and Roger Morrison be extended until the next court date. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.